Hi, everybody. I hope you are sound and safe. Hi, Saeed from Iran, Joko from Indonesia, Natasha from South Africa. It's so nice to have you all here. Hi, Mr. Binoy. Hi, Miss Nikita. Hi, Mr. Rajveer. Hi, everybody. Hi, Ahmed. How are you all? Are you all doing are you all doing good? Hi from Mumbai. Hi, guys. We're just waiting for others to also join in. Just few more minutes and then we will be starting our webinar. I hope you all are excited for it because I personally am, and everybody else who has joined me for this webinar is very excited and ready to rock and roll. I'm doing good. How are you? We have people joining us from India, UAE, Iran, Bosnia, Indonesia, South Africa. That's so nice. I think it's the right time to begin with our webinar. So once again, I welcome you all to our live webinar on AI coding and robotics, a future-ready curriculum for UAE schools. So we are very delighted to have you all, educators, leaders, and innovators joining us today as we explore how emerging technologies are transforming education and preparing students for the future. I'm joined with Mr. Bunsen Thomas from Unique World Robotics, Mr. Swapnil Kumar from STEMpedia, and Ms. Rania Obaid from Smart Learning Schools. So to begin with, I would like to invite Mr. Bunsen to share his insights on the growing role of emerging technologies in the UAE and why it is essential to equip our students with these future-ready skills. Over to you, Mr. Bunsen.
Thanks, Vivek. And once again, a very good evening to all the educators joined from all over the world. I'm so excited to see people from different parts of the world. They're keen to understand about the changes that's going to happen in the education domain, especially in context with the recent decision taken by the UAE government to introduce AI curriculum to the schools, starting from KG onwards. Yeah, there are a few schools who were focusing on some sort of AI curriculum, and now this is going to be a set standard. And I'm so happy to be part of this ecosystem in UAE, especially for the last 6 years, seeing all the changes that is happening. And UAE always stands in the forefront to lead the change, having the first AI ministry in the whole world, and then like starting a curriculum from KG onwards is something really crazy. And today, the focus is surely on how this curriculum can help the entire school in framing the students or helping the students evolve as well as the teachers to evolve to adapt to the changes that is happening on a very daily basis. And each and every second the changes are happening. So me being with my journey in Unical Robotics and collaborating with STEM PD, I have seen how the entire curriculum can change the thought process of the students, teachers, and the entire school ecosystem. And focusing on what the rulers of the UAE was mentioning, it has to be imparted in such a way that the thought process of the students should also be aligned with the market changes. And it shouldn't just stay in textbooks, but rather it has to go to an extent where it becomes a career for the students. So having said that, I'm wishing all of you a great session in this today's webinar, where the speakers will be talking about the changes that we can bring in the curriculum aligned with the market trends. And once again, thanking Stimpedia, Vivek, Swapnil, Unical Robotics for organizing such an amazing event where we have a huge number of participants from all over the world. And wishing everyone a great session throughout, and obviously through the chat rooms and the Q&As, your doubts and queries will be cleared, and we are looking forward to change the school ecosystem together so that it will make the world a better place through technology. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, it's a very thoughtful process to impart these changes, and I think it is necessary now to make sure that kids are learning from these emerging technologies. Moving ahead, I would like to introduce you all to the host of today's webinar, Mr. Swapnil Kumar. Over to you, Mr. Swapnil.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vivek. And I want to thank Mr. Bunsen, his entire team, Alan, Alan, everybody. So they have always been a great support to us. And the insights that Mr. Bunsen has shared, with the recent changes in UAE, and it is a very welcoming change for all of us. And we are very positive about it, and that's what we wanted to focus on today. Right. So a very good evening, good afternoon, morning, as per your time zone. I know it's a Saturday, but then we thought that maybe a holiday would be a great day to have a chat like this. So, just I'll take you through what we'll talk about today in this webinar. We'll first focus on what is the importance of AI in education. Right. I know that a lot of us educators already understand or are using AI, but just we wanted everybody to be on the same page. Then we also wanted to focus on how AI education is evolving on a global stage. So UAE, as Mr. Bunsen mentioned, has been at the forefront of AI education and otherwise as well with the AI ministry, right? And we are seeing so many governments who are coming up with AI curriculum. So as educators, we always have to be very aware of what is going on globally, and accordingly we adapt our learning style, our teaching style, right? So we'll focus on that, and then we'll come to what is UAE's vision, right? So that is the hot topic. Then we'll be blessed by Miss Rania's words, and we are pretty excited about it. She is one of the most renowned educators in the entire world, not only Middle East, for her prowess in AI education. So we'll hear from her. Then we'll come to some of the ideas that Stempedia wants to bring in terms of how the curriculum should look like when it is being developed, right? What we have built, we'll take you through some of the teacher centric LMS aspects that we have added. And finally, we'll also come to what kind of outcomes you should expect from your students, right? When they are given AI education at an early age and in an innovative way. So, yeah, that is just a brief. So, I'll jump into the first section, which is on the importance of AI education. So, AI education in the current times, it's very very essential. So, a lot of us have heard of this word, the fourth industrial revolution, right? So, in the first industrial revolutions, we created machines. In the second industrial revolutions, we learned how to use the machines, right? In the third industrial revolution, we learned how to create the machines, right? And then in the fourth industrial revolution, where we are right now, now we are moving towards automation. And that is why AI becomes very, very essential in the current times. And why we believe it is very important to teach AI at an early age is, from what we have seen, 3 years back, 4 years back, none of us had heard of AI in school education. Right, a lot of us are still new to AI education, especially in school ecosystem. Right, but why it is important to start early? Because when we are giving these tools to our students at a very early age, it really opens up their minds. And the kind of world that they are seeing in front of them now, it is full of AI applications, right? So when I was a child, I was very fascinated by this example of a car or a bike. right? That was very lucrative, very new to me. But then these days, the students are already seeing Teslas of the world and whatnot, right? They are looking into self-driving cars, and they are very eager to learn about how these innovative things work, right? And that is why it is very important to introduce it at an early age. And also what it does is it also gives them exposure about a lot of other associated technologies. So of course artificial intelligence is at the centerpiece of a lot of it, but I think all educators, learners here know, right? The base behind artificial intelligence is mathematics, it's programming. The application of AI is done through robotics, right? We can integrate AI and robotics now very easily. There is also AR, VR, metaverse, and a lot of such new technologies that are coming up. And when we introduce AI in the classrooms, we can also give a glimpse of these other technologies to our students, right? And yeah, that is just a brief of why we believe AI matters quite a lot in education landscape now. And when it comes to why it is important to learn AI at this point, right? As I mentioned just a couple of minutes back, 3 years back, none of us knew Chat GPT. But then in 3 years, the world has changed so much. We can't imagine a life now without such AI tools, right? But then what is happening is there is a huge skill gap, right? A lot of automation, things that can easily be automated will be redundant. Those jobs might not even exist. You are already seeing that. I think one thing that I am seeing primarily happening is there used to be jobs of data entry operators, right? Nobody is entering data now manually. If you have a document, you put it in one of the AI tools and they can just give you the outputs in seconds. And if a human had to do that, it would take hours, right? So that kind of a skill gap, it exists in the modern times. And that is why AI education, when it is given at a very early age, we empower our students to innovate from that early age, to think about being innovators and creators rather than being learners, right? That is the main part. Then also why AI is very important at this point of time. I think, as I mentioned, the relevance of the world that we are living in right now, it really again will create a huge gap in terms of the examples that we are giving to our students. We can't give our students still the same examples. It's not relevant to them. And all of us understand, if something is not relevant to a student, more often than not, they are not interested in that, right? So that is why it is very important to bring those relevant examples, and a lot of such examples are AI driven. So that is why it is very important to learn AI at this point of time. And we believe that is why the government has come up with the AI education framework in UAE now. Right. Then one very important aspect is also how to integrate AI and robotics in classroom. Now, why we talk about robotics in the same line as artificial intelligence is because we believe it is an application of the artificial intelligence in a hands-on, in a real life experience. And we believe when AI, robotics, and the education is combined, then we give students the recipe to become future innovators. And when these tools are given, it not only helps build these skills, but I think it also helps them build a lot of 21st century skills like creativity, collaboration, right? It also helps them to think very creatively. It gives them the idea of how to solve a problem right from scratch, and come to a solution uh, in whatever number of attempts that it takes, but at least they arrive at the solution by their own and becomes and all of us know that, if even our students are making some mistakes, they always learn. We also learn from the mistakes. And the technology like AI and robotics, it gives us the freedom to make mistakes without thinking about it so much. I'll give you a simple example, right? So back in the days, we used to write letters, right? We used to write exam papers, and in the exam paper, if you wrote something wrong, you had to cut it or you will put a marker on it, and it was tough to sort of make such mistakes. And we were always given the example, hey, don't make so many mistakes. But then with the technology's integration in our education, now the students are very free to make those mistakes. You must be seeing that in your home as well, right? A lot of you might have a kid at your home. You'll see that child has learned how to navigate through your mobile phone or a digital device without any training on it, right? And to us it should seem like a genuine curiosity how a child who has never learned about this device, about this technology, is learning it so effectively, because they learn by making those mistakes. They'll click on a video, they'll say, oh no, this is not giving me the output, this is not the video that I want. Or they'll understand, oh, this is not the prompt that I should put to get my desired output, let's say from YouTube and whatnot. And that is the example I always like to use. That is why it is very important to integrate AI and robotics in a very hands-on manner in our classroom, so that our students are not afraid to make mistakes. Next, we'll focus a little bit about why AI education is being pushed globally. UAE has always been at the forefront of AI education. But then I think the revolution, according to us, it started right from Finland, which is considered to be a pioneer in educational excellence. And we have worked quite a lot with the University of Helsinki in Finland, with Dr. Timu Laikinen, who is also one of our mentors and guides for creating such curriculums. And when you visit a Finland school, you'll understand that everything is very hands-on. A very popular example that I like to use is, whenever you go to Finland in a print shop, you'll also get a 3D printer with it. So that is the kind of innovation that is there in Finland, and I think their AI has already been integrated in a lot of subjects. In India as well, what we have seen is through the skill subjects by the Indian boards, they have introduced artificial intelligence. In Singapore as well, we have been very fortunate that we have worked in Singapore with the Singapore government to set up AI and robotics labs in more than 200 schools now. In Singapore as well, you'll find the AI education being pushed by the government, by IMDA. And then now in UAE, being one of the first countries, right, who are mandating AI education right from kindergarten to grade 12. This is unprecedented in the world right now, and that is why, as an educator, it's a very curious time to be in. We don't know how it is going to be like, where it is heading, but we believe there are some things that from this webinar you can learn. Not only from us, we have the amazing panel with Miss Rania and everybody. So we'll also focus on that. Now, let's come to the topic of today's webinar, focusing on that. What is UAE's vision for AI education? So, on the 4th of May 2025, His Holiness Sheikh Mohammed Mr. Sheikh Mohammed uh, announced that artificial intelligence is going to be the part of all school education, not only private schools, but also government schools, right from kindergarten to grade 12. And this is a historic step. As I mentioned, this is something that has not happened in the world right now. And then the rollout that is expected is also from the upcoming academic year 2025-26. The strategy that the government has suggested is around building the fundamentals. But after you build the fundamentals, you also focus quite a lot on the application of artificial intelligence. That is something that we'll again focus on in the coming slides. But also at the same time, not only focusing on the technical aspects or the learning aspects, but also how to learn AI or the ethics of using AI. A lot of us are also seeing our students use artificial intelligence for a lot of their homework, right? There was a very popular study that happened from MIT a couple of days back, and I think you guys can refer to it as well, which said that due to the usage of AI prompt, now our students are not able to write so effectively or so creatively. So, how to give a very judicious, a very balanced approach to AI education so that it becomes a tool or a learning tool rather than becoming a easy solution to their problems, right? So that is why ethics is very important, especially at an early age. For our students to learn AI ethics, it is going to be very essential, right? So coming to the learning strands that the government has suggested, there are 7 learning strands that the government has suggested. So one is the building of the foundational concepts behind artificial intelligence. So it goes from programming, learning, AI, ML, OpenCV, depending on the grades, but then also integrating data and algorithm as a learning strand in this curriculum. Also, the usage of software, of course, for AI education. A lot of you might already be using PictoBlocks, but yeah, software usage is definitely one of the learning stands that the government has come up with. Then also the ethical awareness of AI, something that we talked about just a couple of minutes back. Real world applications. So whether it is through IFTTTs, webhooks, face detection, object detection, and whatnot. And then also innovation and project designing and building. This is something very interesting, and some of you who have already seen the work that we have been doing with educators and with learners for a long, long time. Innovation and project building is something that is very essential to our ecosystem. So these are the learning stands that the government has come up with. And all of these combine to a comprehensive AI education curriculum. And that is the vision that the government has come up with. Now, I would like to invite our esteemed educator, Ms. Rania. She is the STEM director at MSc Smart Learning School, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So over to you, Ms. Rania. I'll stop my screen sharing for now, and please feel free to bless our listeners with your words.
Good evening, and I am very glad to be with you today. Just give me a few minutes till I share my screen, please. And I don't know whether my video is showing or not.
No, Miss Rania, it's not showing up. Can you please check the camera?
I opened the camera. It's already opened.
I think the shutter might be closed. Can you please check? Yeah, now you're
Yeah,
visible.
yeah, I am here. Thank you very much, Vivek, my friend.
Thank you.
So, good evening, everybody. And I am very glad today to be with you, with the STEMpedia team, and on this great initiative talking about the metamorphosis, the changing turning point of AI, robotics, and STEM in education. If you want to know a little bit about me, you can visit my page on the LinkedIn, but I hold a MED from University of Dundee in Learning, Educational Leadership, and I'm doing my DBA at Swiss Business School, and I am a licensed TOT and TBA from Cambridge and Nottingham. I'm consultant and educational solution provider in the field of STEM and AI. First of all, the pillars that we will focus on in this presentation will be STEM, artificial intelligence, educational robotics, and the UNESCO digital integration, impact in education, and how it is going to affect the educational system in Dubai. As a matter of fact, if we start with the foundational disciplines of STEM education, as you know, that's STEM education refers to science, technology, engineering, and math. These are not only the academic categories, but also they are the basic pillars for the future economies. This is according to the UNESCO 2024. Also, when we integrate STEM in early education, we boast not only the innovation, but also the capacity of national competitiveness among other nations in the world. That's why STEM is very important to be adaptive. And artificial intelligence, robotics are parts of STEM. And they are going under the same umbrella of STEM education. So when we talk about AI, we talk about the smart automation of human tasks. We are talking about the systems that can perform tasks just like understanding the language, recognizing images, or solving problems. Those kind of tasks, they require the human intelligence, but now with typically evolving of artificial intelligence, and we can see that AI is a core component of the modern education platforms. This is according to the Microsoft 2023. Also, when we talk about the AI revolution, we're talking about educational robotics, which is very, very important part. And this is one aim that the government of the United Arab of Emirates implementing for the coming years from early stages. So we are talking about robotics in education because they will offer more than a fun pillars. They are introducing design thinking, engineering process, and logic and coding to young innovators. And this will promote the learning and educating of robotics as a key tool in the experimental educational learning process. And finally, we want to take a look at the UNESCO report, and this report it talks about the digital integration and how it means the blended learning and adaptive systems and the real-time feedback, and that can reduce and improve the retention of the 21st century skills. Of collaboration, critical thinking, engineering, design process to have more creative students. As you can see from these rates of adoption around the world, we can understand that the adoption rates of AI in education market is valued. For example, in 2024, it was 5.9 billion, and it hit 32 and more billions by 2030, according to the Grand View. And as some reports said that AI tutors piloted in 40% of United States schools, and this is expected to be 60% and more by 2028. And all these numbers you can see in this slide will give you the impression where the roadmap is taking us and where we are going as parents and as educators of the future. We should keep in mind how adaptive learning will raise and how we should adapt this kind of learning in our schools and in our classrooms. As for the UAE vision and scale, we can see that the curriculum mandate, implementation of AI tutor, the pilot was for 10,000 students and 2,500 teachers in 5 schools. This is by the report of the Ministry of Education in Emirates by 2024. The digital school also, there is 60,000 learners and 1,500 teachers across 8 countries joining this digital schools, which was launched by the Sheikh, and also the robotics contest. And there is detailed information I will provide about this. There are more than 20-30 teams in UAE that participated in different robot events in 24 and 25. And finally, the coding and robotics will become mandatory from grade 1 under the Essential of 2027. So this is very important. This is a very important news to look at. Related to that important vision and outstanding vision in UAE, so the AI curriculum mandated from kindergarten up to grade 12 in public schools, and also not only in public schools, but also in the private schools, in the schools that will be starting from 25 to 26, to support the strategy of implementing the AI. And this strategy will support the vision of the UAE to be a global leader in artificial intelligence. Integrated approach also, there is an integrated approach. The AI education will be embedded into existing subjects such as computing, creative design, and innovation. In each grade, they will receive around 20 AI-focused lessons annually, using existing class time and without adding any extra hours. Also, there will be a focus on both technical skills and ethical awareness, such as bias, AI literacy, and prompt engineering. And this will affect the way students will think, and how we ensure that all students become responsible and informed users and the creators of AI. So, as for the stages, as you can see, we have from kindergarten till grade 2, they will start introducing story-based logic, robot play to build early computing thinking through engaging narratives. And here I can think of Picto Blocks and Scratch as the most matching coding language for this early stage area, and where they can use a story-based logic to tell a funny story using these technologies and this easy coding language. Also, from grade 3 till grade 8, students will move to Scratch programming, which is more complicated level, basic machine learning concepts, and discussions around the AI ethics to deep understanding of technology. And then in the age of 9, in the grade 9 to grade 12, they will learn, that's from age 14 till 18, they will learn about Python, machine learning, Internet of Things, use the most advanced robotic kits in order to prepare them for the higher competition for higher competition, and for solving real world problems, and preparing them for the higher education and industry. As we can see, when we are reaching to that extent, we're talking about the competition between the AI tutor teacher and the education training and the implementation of a framework. So it is very important for institutions to provide teacher development with structured lesson plans, and to provide and to prepare their schools to be facilitated with robotic kits, virtual labs, pilot classes. Implementation also will be through the school clubs and innovation periods. And this is very important because this partnership that the UAE and many other companies have made, such as the Microsoft Azure, the OpenAI, and the ASI. This represents a transformative step towards education through artificial intelligence, and towards modernizing education through the cloud-based technologies. Also, when we talk about these partnerships, they include training teachers and preparing the places, but also they include the pilot results, which we have to highlight as the diagnostic scores by 18% points, indicating significant improvement in student assessment outcomes. And also, we're talking about here the homework completion rates, which these rates have rose by 27%, and the grading time that the teacher take to grade these homeworks has been dropped by 40%. So teachers, they can save time by using the AI tools. Also, the data hosted and compromised, all the data is securely hosted in Microsoft UAE Azure regions, ensuring compliance with national data requirements, and the system is fully complement with the UAE data child law, ensuring privacy, security, and ethical use of student data. The future map show us that more schools will join by 2026, and a greater focus on inclusivity will and local relevance will be boosted. And one key important feature is to provide support for Arabic speakers. So there going to be an Arabic dialect voice also, as it promised in the interaction, and this will enable students to engage more naturally and effectively with the AI in their own linguistic context. Actually, this collaboration showcases the potential of AI in education in UAE, and this will reduce the teacher burden and ensure secure and culturally relevant implementation at a scale. I'm very proud of this case study of ASI tutor that was implemented by the UAE, and where the most clearly reflective in the idea that only students in elite schools have access to the best teachers. So the AI can help level the learning field by adapting the AI as a tutor for all students in all places of the UAE. And we wish also to adapt this in other countries. So, but here we have to stop and think about the comparison between the AI tutors and the human tutors. As you can see, the AI will do a great job in delivering real-time adaptive learning. Also, human tutors or teachers, they rely on observation and experience, and this is according to Springer 2024. And for example, they compare between the human teacher versus the AI tutor in terms of feedback speed. So the AI, it provides instant feedback. If you ask the AI directly, you will get the answer, whereas humans, they require hours or days. And also for the scalability, AI supports unlimited number of students, whereas the human teachers, they have the capacity to a small group of students. But on the other side, the empathy and motivation is only there on the human side of teaching. You will have the emotional support, the socio-emotional learning, and leadership qualities implemented in students. So what we have to consider is having a balance between the AI tutors and the human teachers. Actually, using the AI tutor, this is one important part of a news from Emirates that I have gone through while preparing some research papers last month. I saw this news about Saif Hassan Ibrahim. He is a student in the high school, and he used the AI tutor for 4 months, and he participated in many competition and won many prizes. And he explained that I will quote his sentence. I basically synthesize the novel material that effectively processes carbon dioxide in a single step and explored its use in a new model for second carbon dioxide capture facilities. So he explains that what surprised him the most, that AI, he know him and worked with him as a co-pilot as his level, and helped him a lot to accelerate the process of making his project and his research paper. And he competed in three largest national science competition 3 times, and he finds solutions for many problems. This is very important to know, that when using the AI, you should keep an eye on the human teachers and have a balance between both, and also facilitate the information you get from them. Platforms and blended curriculum, it is very important for reshaping education. when we talk about reshaping education, when we talk about the implementation of tech-driven tools, we are talking about many platforms that help students and teachers to personalize and scalable their learning. And one of these important platforms is Google Classroom, the Copilot, the Code.org, Tinkercad, Replit, Scratch, gamified platforms such as a Classcraft, Minecraft education version, and Code Compact, as well as the Moodle. So in many platforms, we are using the AI in order to make this learning adaptive and to make it more, blended, to enrich the gamification, to improve the academic outcomes and the learner's satisfaction significantly. When we're talking also, if you allow me to talk about robotics and STEM competition, as mainly when we talk about the implementation of AI and robotics and the UAE participation in a global STEM competition will be improved. So when we imply more robotics classes and when we teach the students the coding since early age, we are preparing them to participate more and more events and the global participation and noted participation when they grow up. So if we look at the current participation, as I said, we have more than 20-30 teams in the season of 18 finalist teams. And for the FLL, we have 94 elementary teams. And in the World Robotics WRO, we have 65 teams from UAE, and in NASA MBR, we have 3 teams in a global top of 20. So these are great numbers, but we promise that with the implementation of more AI and robotics since early ages and early stages of the school, these numbers are going to improve. I am a decision maker in the school in UAE, and I want to boost involvement of my students in many competitions. I want my students to compete at global and international levels and win. So what I am going to do is to establish a school robotic club. And this club, I advise that it will start from grade 3 till grade 12 with weekly sessions, and it will be enrichment club working along with the classes and lessons that is embedded in the timetable of the students. Also, we can partner with certified training centers to access kits, mentors, and mock challenges. The more mock challenges the students go through, the better performance they will have in the internationals. And integrate robotics into curriculum, which is very important. We can use platforms such as Code, Lego, Education Spike, Scratch for STEM lessons, and also we can teach the students Pictoblocks, Scratch using simple kits of robot that needs only the guidance and understanding of their teachers. And I bet that all these platforms, they provide training for the teachers to be integrated into the curriculum. And by the curriculum, we're talking about the ICT and computer classes. Encourage gender inclusion, and this is very important. So we have to make STEM fairs for girls to meet the goals of STEM in women. And we have to encourage the girls, not only the boys, to participate and learn coding and be in the lead lines of the competitions. Train teachers on AI, robotics, pedagogy, and I believe we should train school principals on believing in the importance of AI and STEM pedagogy and the importance of changing the way they plan their timetable, and they plan their core subjects and enrichment subjects, and implement robotics and AI inside the classroom. and inside their programs and activities. If we do that, we will guarantee that the schools will boast involvement in the future, wider in a wider aspect. So at the end, I will remind you of the key takeaways that we had today of the impact of AI and robotics and STEM and UAE schools, improved achievements, higher engagement, increased equity, blended success, massive reach, and upskill the educators. You only can do that if you are consistent and you believe in the importance of this vision to be accomplished and changing the future and preparing your student for the future. Thank you, Vivek. Thank you, Stempedia. And thanks for all those who are attending. I hope the best to come by adapting clever and smart platforms and technologies that the team of Stempedia is working on all the time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Rania. Always a pleasure to have you. And I think all of our learners had an amazing time. I think I also personally got to learn quite a lot from the amazing presentation that you have given. So we thank you for your key speech.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I'll just share my screen again, and we'll continue our presentation. Just 1 second. So we heard from Ms. Rania for this time, and then now we'll come to the part I think I was very excited about is what we have created as a framework for the UAE curriculum. Ms. Rania gave all of us a lot of ideas in terms of how to execute this curriculum at our in our schools. You know, in a short term, in the long term, what is the vision of the government and what are the mandates that they are coming up with. What we have created as a framework is we have tried to do the mapping with the cycles that Ms. Rania mentioned, right? There are 3 cycles. There is one cycle for kindergarten to 2. Then there is a second cycle for 3 to 8. And then there is a 9 to 12, the cycle 3. So what we have done is we have mapped the learning outcomes, expected learning outcomes of these cycles with the curriculum that we have created for artificial intelligence learning. And we wanted to just give you a glimpse of what we have done. Right. So just I wanted to show you this quick curriculum mapping for, let's say, grade 6. So in grade 6, we are taking, let's say, 5 units. One is the introduction to coding, programming using block-based, introduction to robotics, fun with AI, and then the basic of, let's say, Python programming. And what we have also shown here is that all the learning strands that we had seen earlier, right from learning the foundational concepts, usage of data and algorithm, usage of software, ethical awareness related to AI, real world applications, project building, right? All these learning strands are being covered here. So this is just a quick mapping for all of you. But I think the most important part for me here is the solution creators. So basically a 5-in-1 project, everything that the students are learning across these different grades, they get to apply all of those concepts in a hands-on manner with the competition. So Ms. Rania mentioned some of the competitions that definitely will see a lot of participation from UAE now with the AI education being mandated. Along with it, some of you are already aware, we also organize Codeavour competition, which will also be very central to this curriculum. Now, the pedagogical strategies that we have used here are basically the usage of logical reasoning, how to make our students problem solvers, right? At the same time, it should be an inquiry-based learning. We encourage students to ask as many questions, make those mistakes and explore the answers to them, which is the main objective of this curriculum. Because it also includes the Codeavour competition. So there is project-based learning as well that is there, and AI and digital literacy, because this is an AI curriculum, it will definitely be there. So yeah, these are the pedagogical strategies that we have used while building this curriculum for you. Next, I wanted to also showcase to you how we have built the learning outcomes and what is the overall learning framework that is being used. So first we teach students about the foundational skills, right? As you could see in the grade 6 mapping, the coding part was the one where we have mapped it with the foundational skills. Then we give them the softwares or the tools to build some essentials, or to build some comfort with the software, with whatever they are learning, whether it is machine learning, whether it is Python, right? So then we give them the tools. Then third is to help them understand how to use the concept and the tools in a very ethical manner. So building a responsible mindset, that is learning outcome number 3. Then building connection with the real life application. So once they have understood how to use it ethically, we want to introduce then to them with the real life application, then to build some innovative solutions or do some experimentation with the real life challenges that they are seeing, and then also taking up a community role to maybe have their own startup at certain point of time, with the solution that they have come up with. Also it increases their awareness of how to solve some of the most pressing challenges that we are facing globally. So the AI education or the curriculum that we have built, it is not only about learning AI, it is about giving back to our community, how to make our students more innovative. And this is the learning outcome framework that we are using. In addition to it, the kind of learning progression that we are building with this curriculum, it goes from the foundational skills, then to giving some ideas in terms of the basic application, then intermediate or a more advanced level of mastery with the concept and also with the application, right? And then also finally what we would want them to do is to integrate it with some of the real life challenges that they are seeing. A lot of students come up with questions and queries, which are for us as educators, it can be very a curious mind asking a question, right? But then for a student, when they are giving these tools, they can very well integrate it with the concepts that they are learning and try to create a prototype, a solution to these real life problems. So yeah, this is the kind of learning progression that is there in the curriculum that we have created. Uh, as And we also understand that apart from the curriculum, there is a lot that can be done even right now. I think first and foremost that we always suggest everybody just go and check out PictoBlocks. You will definitely see a lot of things there, and that will give you a nice idea in terms of how to start with artificial intelligence, especially in a classroom environment. You can also maybe host an AI day at school, just to build awareness among students. You can also do an AI day with the parents to help them understand what is coming up from the government side, and with this new curriculum, what is it that they can expect their students to do. It can be it need not be a lecture. It can always be a hands-on exercise. Maybe the parent and the kid can do something together as well. Just some ideas from our side. As Miss Rania mentioned, you can start a AI club at your school. So in this club, the students who are interested in artificial intelligence get a space to really explore and collaboratively learn from each other. Also, something that Ms. Tanya again had mentioned in her speech was building the base of this curriculum with storytelling. So, especially for young grades, when this is being introduced in kindergarten to grade 2, of course, it is very tough for us to build any kind, even to help them get through some of the tools very easily. Of course, we are trying to build PictoBlocks as seamless as possible, but then we also understand that storytelling is the way to go forward, especially for young students. And then finally, we have created tons of resources for all the educators out there. So you can explore some of these resources, and again, these resources are available for your usage. You can once you are filling out the feedback form, you can let us know in case you need those resources. We'll be very, very happy to share a sample of those resources with you as well, right? And also, to implement this curriculum, we have built a learning management system. The idea behind this learning management system is that it should be teacher centric. So what we have done is we have not only created the videos, the lecture slides, the quizzes, the assignments, and the reports. So this is available for the students to access, and at the same time, the teachers also get access to Microsoft PowerPoint presentations, activity sheets, worksheets, solved worksheets, the code for the AI concept that you are teaching, robotics concept that you're teaching. So everything is available on the learning management system that we have built. And then, yeah, that is what we have built for you. So in case you are interested to implement some of this in your classroom, and I know all of you must be very, very excited to do that, do drop us your comments, your thoughts in the feedback form. But I wanted to leave you with something that captivates your mind. So, as I had mentioned, we believe that this curriculum is not only a learning curriculum, this is an application based curriculum. So I just wanted to show you when we implement AI education in a hands-on manner, what we can expect as an output from our students. Right. I want to introduce you to the Codeavour 6.0 International that happened last month on 14th and 15th of May. Right. So, sorry, 16th and 17th of May. Miss Rania was also a part of the Codeavour competition. So this is a quick video for you to summarize the output of hands-on AI education. So yeah, that was a glimpse of Codeavour 6.0 International. It was an amazing experience for all of us hosting the innovative minds globally, right? And as you could see, there were two tracks. There was a first track on how to use these new technologies to create anything innovative, and there are no foundations to the competition in track one. Students are free to create right from just storytelling to creating something as large as a humanoid. We don't put any pressure on the students for that. And then in the track two, which was the climate action challenge, students had the opportunity of building a robot that has to be either programmed using buttons, or it can be a self driving AI driven a robot. It had to complete the 9 challenges in the climate action challenge in the shortest time. So yeah, and we could see that a lot of students learning from our programs could succeed in this competition. So we are very, very proud of all the students and educators who joined us for the event. Next, I had some open-ended questions that I wanted to discuss from all with all of you, but I'm not very sure if I have the time now because we are just reaching the end of this webinar. So what I'll do is I'll just like to thank everybody for joining in on this webinar and listening to me for the last 30 minutes or so. And yeah, over to you, Vivek, if you have some concluding thoughts and if our panel or the viewers have any questions that we can help them with.
Sure. Thank you so much, Mr. Swapnil, and thank you so much, Rania ma'am, for the informative session. We have shared the feedback form link in the chat box, so kindly provide your valuable feedback to us. Upon filling the feedback form, you will secure your participation certificate for this webinar. So kindly do that. Thank you so much for your amazing remarks. We are getting so many remarks like, wow, it's amazing, it's interesting. Thank you so much, everybody. If you have any questions, please drop it down in the chat box. We will be more than happy to take it. And if you have any questions regarding the partnership, I request you to kindly drop it in the feedback form. Thank you so much, Mr. Rajvi. Thank you so much, Mofaji. Kindly make sure to fill the feedback form because filling this feedback form will secure your participation certificate for this webinar. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us live. We will be soon going live with our upcoming teacher training program on Python with picture blocks. So I will be catching you live there as well. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Swapnil.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, again for listening. And thank you so much, Ms. Rania, for joining us today. Again, as I mentioned, one of the most enriching experiences for me to listen to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vivek and Mr. Swapnil, for this amazing evening and the fruitful, interesting, full of information meeting. I hope everybody not to lose the chance to make a partnership, and we will see you all in Codeavour 7.0, inshallah. And we're very excited for that. Thank you very much, and good night.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Have a nice day, everybody. Bye bye.